Hello and welcome to Business Reporter's UK 2030 campaign. I'm Alistair Greener and today I'm talking to Patricia Zarita from BirdLife International. Good morning.
Hi, Alistair.
We hear the term biodiversity, we hear climate change, all of these different terms. What do they all mean, and put it into the context of today?
Well, I think we are starting to pay more attention to what the scientists are saying. They have been saying this all along for almost 3 decades now. And it's basically that the systems that enable us to survive are no longer resilient and will not longer be safe. That our impact as a species to the rest of the species of the system are so big that our own survival is under threat right now. So what it means that we're starting to think that we cannot do anything and everything we want, that we are part of this bigger system and that everything that we do have a consequence. So people are starting to make decisions about not only their business, but also how their business actually impacts socially and environmentally in the rest of their own country or their location and even the planet.
And it's something that, without question, people are talking about more and more and more. And interestingly enough, the recent UN study into biodiversity, when it was looking at agriculture and food and so on, it painted a pretty catastrophic picture, didn't it?
The reality is that the planet cannot keep going like this. We have 40% of the planet under agriculture exploitation. We are losing species more than ever. 1 in every 8 bird is threatened with extinction. We're seeing news about bees and pollinators. The reality is that information is there. Now we have to do something about it.
But what is it about now? Because surely this shouldn't be new news. We've been aware of it and the conversation was started some time ago. So what is it about now that makes it so critical?
I think it's starting to get more in the conscience of people. I think young people have picked up very clearly and they're asking us to come and make a change in the way that we are managing the planet and making decisions, because it is their future that is at risk. So I think it is that, plus the fact that science is telling us that we don't have more time. We have 12 years to change this, really, and for climate and for biodiversity, probably less. So we have to make sure that we start turning things around, consuming more thoughtfully, and being a lot more sustainable in the way that we're producing, thinking ourselves as part of a system rather than we are the commanding species in the planet and we do whatever we want.
So where does business fit into this big picture?
It's a huge part of the solution. I was yesterday in a finance conference, and the finance sector, for example, has the huge opportunity of pushing the transactions with sustainable companies that are as, if not more, productive and have better returns than the traditional companies. And the more that we integrate environmental and social and governance elements into it, the more that we can actually ensure that we have a sustainable system around us. Business has the power to innovate, and it has the power to really think more in a more circular economy system. So it's not only about what I'm producing right now and what I'm throwing there, but what happens with my waste? Where am I sourcing? Where is my supply chain coming from? And how can we make decisions about sourcing from sustainable supply chains and ensuring that waste is actually taken care of properly?
And it's interesting you're talking about the role of birds here and how sometimes they're almost like the early messenger, early warning sign, if you like. Tell us a little bit more about the role that birds have in the broader aspect of biodiversity.
Interestingly enough, there's more scientific information about birds than any other group of species in the planet. So given the amount of information that is available, there's huge opportunity to using that to convey to the rest of the public and to the business world, how can we actually make a change in our decisions so we can be more sustainable?
And it's interesting you saying that business is very much a role in this, and the fact that business and watching birds and what they're doing can be a real clear indication for us of what the future does lie ahead. And also it'll be interesting to see how things do develop over the next critical 12 years, as you say. But for the moment, Patricia Zarita from BirdLife International, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.